My name is John McKeon, and we are here live at Partners Conference with Eric and Derek from NBC Universal. They just finished their session on tonight's lineup, an Upfront View in a Scattered World. What did you guys do today that really elicited some interesting comments? What are some of the subjects that really, you think, resonated with the audience?
Well, we talked about a lot of different key principles, foundational principles, philosophies that we use at NBC to make our data warehouse business success and a technical success. And one of the points that really I saw eyes light up on was on the point about breaking tradition. And it's really cool because, as data warehouse professionals, it's in our nature to build bridges between disjointed worlds. And we want to enable new capabilities that were never possible before. And what's been really cool at NBC is how we've taken that to the next level. We actually use the data in our data warehouse to pay people. That's not really done in a traditional data warehouse sense. Most of the times it's collecting data from your disparate source systems in your organization, bringing it into the data warehouse, cleansing it, and then making it available in a report or a dashboard. But at NBC, we're actually using that data to pay people. And the really interesting thing that we did last year was actually connect customer finance and our SAP system with Salesforce in the cloud. And in doing so, we were able to get our customer finance teams, our invoice collections, and our salespeople to collaborate. And that project had a 300% return on investment within the first week. Just in the first couple of days, we were able to recover what we invested in that project, and we're still reaping the benefits from it because we got these two teams to work together, to collaborate, that a sales executive would work with a client to collect on an open invoice. Often we'll have a case where an agency or an advertiser will buy maybe 100 units, and because one unit had a small problem, maybe a small defect like the sound was off or it got cut off a little bit too early, they won't pay $1 million invoice. And that debt evolves into bad debt and maybe could be written off or turn into some sort of credit that we apply. But if we get the sales executives involved earlier, we could reduce that bad debt, and it saved money on the magnitude of millions of dollars, money that we can invest back into NBC.
That's amazing. Eric, any thoughts about that?
I mean, I think it's important in building a technical solution that can support this type of bridging this disparate data, and doing that is very difficult in the sense of you have lots of different types of data, some very different than the others, and being able to connect this information requires a lot of work in your data integration strategy and applying best practices to make sure you're reporting this information accurately so that the account executives can get this information, but not only have this information, make sure the information is correct. We don't want them facing with a client with the wrong information, to make sure that they have all the information, that the information is accurate, and then they can have actionable information to make a deal with a client or collect some of that debt that the client may not even know is outstanding. Sometimes they're disconnected from this, and so sometimes they can resolve these discrepancies. Sometimes it's as simple as that. So it gives them and empowers them in a way to improve not only themselves in their own sales process. They're able to reap the benefits of that, and also it helps our different parts of our organization have that work done on the front line. So not only recovering the money, but pushing some of that work to the people which can make it happen instead of maybe somebody in the back office where traditionally that role is done.
Thanks, Eric. So I'll put this question out to both of you. What question was the most memorable that was asked to you either in the session or after the session?
I think there was a really interesting question about how we attack this. How do we make it scalable for organic growth and make it generic enough to expand and add additional sales systems, additional maybe parts of our business. And for us, it was about doing a data survey, right, and even an ODS approach. So for us, bringing in the data and storing it twice has a tremendous amount of value. bring it in and bring in the data structures that match very much like the source systems gives us a tremendous amount of flexibility. So we can leverage the power of Teradata and let Teradata really do the heavy lifting. So we bring it in natively, do minimal transformation in the source into our operational data store. Then we do the complex calculations, the roll-ups, and apply business logic from that operational data store into a final reporting layer. And you're not always going to get that right the first time. And by bringing it into the data warehouse, at least at an operational level, it gives you a tremendous amount of flexibility to turn the knob a little bit, adjust it, and adjust for business rules, on the fly. I don't know if you want to add anything.
Yeah, especially in the complex data integration from taking all these multiple sources of having all these things in the database and being able to have a good mapping and a metadata layer in order to combine all these attributes and having the power of Teradata to do that very quickly with your different set operations and your ELT type of approach. So it enables us to build a solution that derives the power from Teradata itself to be able to run much faster than you would be able to achieve that in a normal type of ETL approach. So this added a lot of value due to not only the complexity of our data integration, but also the volume of information which we're dealing with on a daily basis.
Eric and Derek just finished their presentation. It was a great session on NBC Universal's road to trying to have an upfront view in a scattered world. I was there at the very end of it, and there was a lot of questions and a lot of smiling faces. Eric and Derek, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.